the most anticipated international leaders summit since the financial crisis is set to be held in Japan. It comes as the world watches to see if President Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping can come up with a deal to end their trade war. Joining me now live from Tokyo is Sky News chief political reporter Kieran Gilbert. Kieran, is there any sign of a breakthrough?
No sign at this point, Tom, and it's really hard to be very optimistic right now, given the propaganda from China on the one hand and given the mixed messages from the US on the other. Now, the US Vice President Mike Pence delayed a speech on China overnight because he didn't want to quash any hope of a deal, but at the same time, the Commerce Department slapped tariffs on 5 more Chinese entities. So mixed messages, a lot of propaganda from China as well in the lead up to the G20, anti-US propaganda. So it's hard to see any grand deal being nutted out here in Japan over the next few days. Still a glimmer of hope that there might be some incremental step forward. Here was one of the lead Chinese negotiators overnight.
Mutual respect means each side must respect the other's sovereignty. Meeting each other halfway means both sides have to compromise and make concessions, not just one side.
The problem is, though, will Donald Trump go halfway? Will he compromise at all? Because the Chinese will want to save face. That is certainly going to be one of the key issues for them. They don't want to capitulate, and they won't capitulate over coming days. So if there's going to be any deal of any sort, Donald Trump's got to give something to the Chinese. And if he doesn't, well, this could spiral even further. Another $300 billion plus in terms of tariffs coming on stream from Donald Trump and the United States. And that could, in the end, lead to a tech war, potentially a Cold War, according to Dr. Shiro Armstrong, who's the director of the Japan-Australia Research Centre at the ANU.
So if we don't get a deal or a truce between China and the United States, there's a chance of escalation into a tech war. I mean, already we've seen Huawei being banned from participating in the United States. So it could be a tech war and a new Cold War, but also other countries will join in, as they tend to do, and it'll be a global trade war.
So world leaders coming to Osaka over the next few days, including Prime Minister Morrison. We know that Australia and Japan combined effectively to keep the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal alive. Will Abe and Morrison be able to do something similar in trying to get a grouping together and save the World Trade Organisation, basically, and the rules upon which free trade has been governed over many decades, Tom?
Kieran, I guess the point is we're going to hear the sort of advice we've heard from Scott Morrison, indirectly albeit to Donald Trump, but will he actually be swayed by that at this type of event, given past form?
Hard to see that he would be. Donald Trump is all about what we know, put America first, and that will be the fundamental driving point. The question is, will there be enough for China to save face in any deal? If he doesn't compromise at all, well, there won't be any bargain of any sort in Osaka when the two leaders meet, Tom.